I moved to the United States from a Muslim part of Russia called Circassia. And I really love observing kind Americans. Russians never smile, while Americans are known for their beautiful smile. When Russians are angry, they shout at you, while Americans are nicely passive-aggressive. The only thing that really puzzles me is that Americans are so passionate about guns. One day I walked into a gun shop out of curiosity, and I was instantly overwhelmed with diversity of weaponry. And the gun shop owner with impressive mustache looked like as if he walked straight out of a Western movie. He was wearing cowboy boots, a huge belt buckle, a massive gun on his hip, and a tiny chihuahua under his arm. I made eye contact with Chihuahua and could hear as the dog was thinking, "Well, Dorothy, I guess you're not in Circassia anymore." As an introvert, I thought I had enough of cultural shock for the day and was about to leave when I suddenly saw something that I could not resist buying. It was a turkey collar. It was a whistle that turkey hunters use to get turkeys into open. And I instantly knew that I desperately needed a turkey collar. I said, "Can I get the turkey collar?" And the shop owner said, "Well, that's a crow whistle. The turkey on the label is just a brand. Unfortunately, we're out of those turkey collars. Are you a turkey hunter?" "No," I said, "but I was born thanks to turkeys." I said, "I'm from Muslim part of Russia called Circassia, where we have all sorts of strange customs. Circassians marry young, and younger brothers can't marry before older ones, and parents and children almost don't speak to each other out of respect. So when my father turned 30 years old, my future father turned 30 years old and was still unmarried, he created a crisis in the family. On one hand, his two younger brothers were patiently waiting for their turn to get married, and on the other hand, my grandpa couldn't tell my father to marry because that was not a proper conversation that father and son could have. But my grandfather was renowned in our village for his practical jokes. And this time he decided to put them in use. So when Grandpa heard that my future father started dating my future mother, he decided to expedite their relationship in his own way. He bought 24 turkeys, then released them in his house yard and announced publicly, "I bought these turkeys for my older son's wedding." And since after that, every time he would see my father in the yard, Grandpa would turn to turkeys and shout at them, "I regret I bought you, you useless birds." So turkeys are known for their intolerance to noise, and every time Grandpa shouted at them, 24 turkeys shouted back, "Gobble, gobble, gobble." Only they were Circassian turkeys, so they shouted in Circassian, "Kuni, kuni, kwah, kwah." So Dad proposed to my mom shortly after that. I don't know if they married under the pressure of turkey gobbling, but I want to believe that 24 turkeys contributed to their marriage and that I was born thanks to turkeys. So as I told that to the gun shop owner, I noticed that his mustache twitched a little bit, and he said, "I want to get you that turkey collar so much now." Gun shop owner and Chihuahua disappeared in the back room, and I started hearing a cacophony of noises, including boxes falling, loud cursing, Chihuahua barking. Finally, they re-emerged, and the shop owner said, "Unfortunately, I couldn't buy I couldn't find a turkey collar, but here's what I can do for you. If you give me your card, I will let you know as soon as we have it." So 3 weeks later, I received a package and a card saying, "Thank you for sharing your culture and the story of your birth with me. Please accept this small gift as a welcome to America." I really felt great that my exotic and strange circussion story resonated with Americans. But I'll confess that I always thought that people who sell guns would imagine partly doing it in order to protect America from Muslims. And the last thing I expected was that a gun shop owner would send a welcome to America gift to a Muslim like me. And I was deeply touched by the gesture. What I didn't tell to the gun shop owner, however, was why I needed that turkey collar. Because after moving to the United States, I haven't found my better half yet. And I thought that since it worked, turkey gobbling worked for my dad and mom, maybe it will work for me if I announced my intention to the universe. So as soon as I got the turkey collar, I took it to the local park just to see if it attracts a woman. So I whistled into it, and would you know it, instantly a fit brunette jogger stopped next to me. I'm kidding, nobody stopped. There was a brunette jogger, but she started running faster in opposite direction. And I realized that probably turkey collar won't help. After all, I needed to attract a woman, not a turkey. But eventually, I did attract a beautiful brunette in my life, and her name is Margarita. Margarita's smart, creative, and has a sophisticated haircut. And last summer, Margarita and I went for vacation to North Carolina, and we stopped at a fruit stand. And suddenly, a blonde woman about my age announced publicly to nobody in particular, "I have blueberry bushes that need picking." So as I said, I'm an introvert with strict rules toward strangers. Never talk to them. Never ever trust them. And never ever, no matter what, follow them. Only before I knew it, my girlfriend, who is an extrovert with completely opposite set of rules, introduced us to her new best friend, Terry, and to my horror, we were following Terry's car to pick blueberries. Terry first led us on highway, then country road, then dirt road, and my confidence in us surviving this adventure deteriorated with the road quality. Finally, Terry's car stopped at a solitary standing house, and we heard loud barking. And my girlfriend said, "Yay, you have dogs. Can we pet them before we pick blueberries?" And validating my introvert instincts, Terry said, "Those are our bear hunting dogs. But don't worry, they're in cages." Okay, I thought, she's a hunter and not a gatherer like us. And then Margarita said, "I wonder if bears eat blueberries," while I wondered if hunters eat gatherers. Because defining all stereotypes, I didn't like those bear hunting dogs, even in Russia. Then another big hunter and a small hunter came out of the house, and Terry introduced us to her husband Scott and grandson Kyle. And to Margarita's delight, 7-year-old Kyle was carrying a little puppy, which also made me feel safe, because I thought they wouldn't traumatize the puppy doing away with us in front of it. Then they took us to the yard, and Scott, a fellow introvert, and I started picking blueberries in awkward silence while Terry and Margarita kept talking. And Terry machine-gunned questions at us. "How do you like it here? Where are you from?" And Margarita fired back, "We love it here. Sufian's from Russia, I'm from Ukraine, and we live in DC." And suddenly, Terry stopped, and an ominous silence descended upon us, as it happens when extroverts stop talking. And then she suspiciously asked, "Are you liberals?" Oh, I thought, this is not good. This is why I don't follow strangers. And that's when Margarita said something that deserves #sheer admiration. She said, "Would you still let us pick blueberries if we are?" So that broke the ice, and Terry laughed and said, "Of course," and instantly resumed her interrogation, starting from President Biden's age, ending with mine. To dodge the politics, I told her my age. And she said, "We are the same age." And we kept talking, picking blueberries. And at the end of the conversation, she said, "This is amazing. We have so much in common. I never had such a nice conversations with liberals before." Then Scott took a selfie of all of us, including the puppy, and Terry gave us a bear hug, and we drove away alive back toward liberal democracy. And I finally could relax, and meanwhile, Margarita was checking her phone and said, "Terry just sent a Facebook friend request to me, and she posted our picture. Listen to what she wrote." And she read what Terry posted. "Today, my faith in humanity was restored. Met these two. They are liberals, we are conservative. She's from Ukraine, he's from Russia. Two different sets of people communicated mutually. This is what the world needs today." And I agree with Terry. Margarita and Terry changed my views. Now I believe in talking to strangers. They might surprise you if you keep an open mind. And I also believe in blueberry diplomacy, which might help save the world.